Hi, I am Mega. Welcome back to Megarasa. Today I am going to make delicious Acar, Atjar, Ketimun. Ketimun means cucumber. Well, what do you need? Of course, cucumber, a shallot, a carrot, salt, sugar, vinegar, and that's it maybe. And then we will begin. To begin the process, I carefully take a fresh cucumber and place it on the cutting board. Using a sharp knife, I proceed to slice the cucumber into thin, even pieces, ensuring precision and safety with each cut. To prepare the fruit for consumption, I carefully remove the seeds by using a small knife. This process involves gently cutting around the seeds and ensuring that none of the fruit's flesh is wasted. By doing this, I make sure that the fruit is ready to be enjoyed without any unwanted seeds. I want my pickled vegetables, Acar, to be clean, well prepared, fresh, properly stored, delicious, and appetizing. When I mix the seeds into the liquid, it will start to look a bit cloudy. This happens because the seeds spread throughout the liquid, changing its clarity. It's like when you add a little flour to water, and it becomes less clear. The seeds create a suspension, affecting how the mixture looks, making it appear less transparent than before. Acar Atjar goes really well. Yes, almost in all dishes. Especially in Indonesian dishes, and spices are often used in traditional recipes. I actually cut it like this at an angle into slices. But you can also cut them into cubes, or even into smaller, more manageable cubes that are easier to handle and manage, of course. It's actually just a matter of personal preference, really. Yes, you can choose whatever you want, and it will be perfectly fine. The decision is entirely up to you, and there are no wrong choices in this situation. You can very easily cut it into cubes, or alternatively lengthwise if you prefer. Acar Atjar is simply very deliciously tasty with fried rice, noodles, or of course satay, or other spicy foods such as chili peppers, jalapenos, and perhaps even more. And yes, it also serves the important function of cooling something down in various situations or environments, such as in homes, offices, or even outdoors, if you have eaten something spicy or flavorful. In many culinary traditions, especially those with spicy or rich dishes, a condiment known as Acar, or Atjar, is often used to balance and cool down the flavors. Acar is a type of pickled vegetable dish, typically made with ingredients like cucumbers, carrots, and sometimes chilies, all soaked in a tangy vinegar solution. This pickling process not only preserves the vegetables, but also infuses them with a refreshing taste that can counterbalance the heat or heaviness of a main dish. When a dish feels too intense, adding Acar can provide a cooling effect, making the meal more enjoyable. To prepare the material for our project, I carefully cut this piece into numerous small, uniform strips. This process involves using a sharp tool to ensure precision and consistency in size, which I usually cut it diagonally first, and especially when I make sandwiches, for an even better presentation. Or as they often like to say in the beautiful country of France, Julienne. Pickled vegetables, known as Atjar, provide a delightful and refreshing taste experience. They offer a crisp, tangy flavor that is both invigorating and satisfying. It's a unique sensation that leaves you wondering, what exactly is it that makes them so special? The truly delightful sweet and sour flavor adds a vibrant freshness to your culinary dish. This side dish is not just simply delicious. It is a delightful blend of flavors and textures that perfectly complements any main. Deliciously and refreshing. The children, who are always eager to try new things, find the dish incredibly tasty and delightful. They often express their enjoyment with smiles and laughter, savoring. So, to elaborate, yes, this discussion is indeed about the size of a matchstick, which is a small, slender piece of wood or cardboard used for lighting fires. Understanding its size is important for practical use. But you can also cut it into cubes, as I mentioned earlier. And when it comes to the shallot, what I like to do is take it and slice it right down the middle, cutting it in half. After that, I proceed to slice it very thinly, ensuring that each piece is delicate and fine. We'll add the shallot in a moment. And now, as we move forward in our journey, we shall continue on with the salt. I very slowly and carefully add approximately 1 tablespoon of salt, gradually and evenly, with precision. And then it's a bit of kneading. You actually remove the moisture from the cucumber. Essentially, indeed very good at massaging. Yes, how long does it actually take? Approximately until all the moisture is out. I will show you in just a moment with a little bit more detailed explanation of what I am going to do in this video and provide some insights. As you continue to observe your surroundings, you might start to notice a subtle change in the atmosphere. The air is beginning to feel a bit more humid and moist, indicating a gradual increase in moisture levels. This shift suggests that the environment is getting progressively wetter. When I perform this action, you will observe how much water drips out. By slightly tilting the container, the water starts to flow out slowly, allowing you to see the dripping rate. Following this, I am going to demonstrate the process to you in detail, ensuring that you understand each step clearly. How much liquid, you can also see that it is cloudy. Look, you see, if I leave the seeds in, it will naturally become even more cloudy. So, yes, you can actually leave it in, but I personally prefer to leave it out for various reasons. For instance, leaving it in might be convenient for some, but I find that leaving it out offers more flexibility and control over the situation. This approach has worked well for me in the past, and I believe it can be beneficial for others who might be considering their options. First, we need to take the item that we are working with and prepare it for the next steps. This involves a thorough washing process. We are going to carefully wash it, ensuring that every part is cleaned properly. This means we will rinse. And now the finely chopped shallot goes in, because if I mix now, or if I had just mixed with the cucumber and carrot and the salt, look, as you can very clearly and easily observe, this is all naturally crumbling. And yes, then it becomes absolutely and entirely squishy. And yes, indeed, that is absolutely really not so tasty. I use approximately about 5 tablespoons of vinegar and then 5 tablespoons of sugar. And then we will stir until the sugar is dissolved. In my usual cooking routine, I make sure to include a variety of chili peppers, like the small and spicy bird's eye chili, also known as rawit. Certainly, the children will be joining us for the meal, which is why I have decided not to add any pepper at this moment. It's important to consider their taste preferences and ensure that the food is suitable for everyone at the table. Pepper can sometimes be too spicy for young ones, and I want to make sure that they enjoy their meal without any discomfort. Therefore, I will refrain from adding pepper now, and perhaps we can add it later for those who prefer a bit more spice in their dishes. Ensuring that everyone, especially the children, has a pleasant dining experience is my priority. By holding off on the pepper, we can cater to the more sensitive palates, and then adjust the seasoning for those who enjoy a bit more heat in their food. At this point in the process, the Acar, also known as Atjar, is nearing completion. This traditional dish, which is a type of pickled vegetable relish, has been carefully prepared with a variety of fresh ingredients. The vegetables have been sliced and combined with The process is incredibly straightforward and easy to understand. You don't need any special skills or knowledge to grasp it. Just follow the simple steps, and you'll stir really well until everything is dissolved. Tasting is a vital step in preparing food or drinks. It ensures that flavors are balanced and meet your expectations. By tasting, you can make necessary adjustments, like adding seasoning or sweetness to enhance the dish. Always remember, tasting is essential and should not be skipped. I think perhaps it could use just a tiny bit more vinegar to balance the flavors a bit more, I guess. You need to proceed with extreme caution, ensuring every step is deliberate and precise, just like this demonstration shows. Pay attention to the details and follow the process meticulously. This dish is not only incredibly tasty, but also pairs perfectly with a variety of side dishes, such as fried rice and noodles. The combination of flavors and textures creates a delightful culinary experience that is both satisfying and memorable. Whether you are enjoying it as a quick meal or a leisurely dinner, the rich taste and aroma will leave a lasting impression. It's a versatile dish that can be enjoyed on its own or as part of a larger feast, making it a favorite among food enthusiasts. Yes, with absolutely everything, really. A little satay, lontong on the side. Delicious. This is indeed the Acar Atjar, really very easy. I also made the previous version in cubes, slightly. Look here, you see it, so it is really what you want. Right, exactly, isn't it? Or maybe, or perhaps. It's really super easy, and I always make it in advance, and then a lot, very often, frequently, and then into a glass jar, and into the refrigerator. And yes, this way you always have delicious Acar Atjar to go with your dishes. Enjoy your meal. Goodbye.